a, these are a very large population, so the coverage is almost global now. And we applied in 2010. The application process is also very lengthy and quite expensive. First, we have to go through the provisional status category. For applying, you have to find out 2 nominators from among the full signatories. So we invited Engineering Council UK and the Board of Engineers Malaysia to come and visit us, have a look at what we are doing, and nominate us for provisional membership, and that was in the year 2011. In the annual meeting in Taipei, Bangladesh BAT was admitted as a provisional signatory. Unfortunately, the progress we have been making over the last few years has been very slow. We have been trying to become full signatory, but we are yet to fulfill the requirements. One of the main reasons is the procedure we have been following on the basis of APET, the American Accreditation Board for Engineering and Technology. The pre-2000 criteria depended more on inputs. Now, after 2000, globally there has been change. Rather than emphasizing on the inputs, so looking at faculty qualification, the laboratory facilities, the other physical infrastructure, the emphasis is now more on outcomes. So look at the end result. Look at the fulfillment of the graduate attributes. And we have been slow in changing over from our old system to the new system. So that is one of the major weaknesses we still have. Now, in the process of applying for full membership, you have to have 2 full signatories as mentors. And we had difficulty in getting mentors. First we selected UK and Australia, and with reluctant, one of them came and he didn't spend much time. So we decided to get rid of UK and Australia also. Now we have Malaysia and Singapore. And they're helping us for the last 1 year. We are optimistic that we'll be in a position, maybe in 2018, to apply for full membership, which will be considered in the annual meeting of the Washington Accord in 2019, June. So that is our target. But we have quite a long way to go. What we have done is the whole accreditation, the criteria have been changed. And there is an accreditation manual. I don't know whether you have access to that. It's available online. Focusing more on outcome, as is being done by IQAC. In fact, the objectives of IQAC under HACCP are very similar to our accreditation objective. So in June 2018, for the annual meeting, which is going to be held in London, we have to demonstrate at least 5 programs which have been accredited as per the new manual. And we are working on that. Hopefully, we'll be able to complete the whole process of 5 programs. And then maybe in the following few months, another 10 programs when we can claim that we have accredited as per the new criteria, at least 15 programs, which is still a very small percentage of the total number of programs in Bangladesh now. The number would be more than 200 now for all the universities which are offering engineering programs. We need the help and assistance of faculty members. As the process is all peer-driven, we don't depend on full-time employees to go and inspect like inspector of schools, but it's all peer review team. And we invite faculty members from different universities to come and join the visiting teams, as you have seen in the slides, that 2 faculty members, one from East West University and the other from BUET. And the requirement is at least 1 member should be from among practicing engineers. And yeah, here incidentally all three were, I think, former students, not Khairul Alam, but here we graduated in 1970, electrical engineer, and the other student who came, the faculty member. You mentioned about Saifur Rahman, who also happens to be a former student. Although he was electrical engineering undergraduate, but they have to take courses in civil engineering, so I taught him in 1969, I think. Harun Rashid was also a former student. He graduated in 1967. So I'm happy that all of them are coming back to help us and holding very important positions. Saifur Rahman became the Vice President of IEEE, now going to head the Power Society. So, going back to the process, Dr. Razzaq presented the timeline. It does take a lot of time. One reason is difficult to mobilize the members of visiting team. They're reluctant to spend, it's almost voluntary. In Bangladesh, devoting some time for the profession on voluntary basis, it's very difficult to get volunteers. Although we do pay token honorarium, but that's not attractive enough. So we have to force them sometimes, that, particularly for those programs from outside Dhaka. Chittagong, Rajshahi. We started this board mainly targeting the private universities. But many public universities are now coming forward, including BUET, which we hope would be applying in the next 2-3 months. Civil engineering, electrical and electronic engineering, and computer science and engineering, BUET would be applying. Other universities are already coming forward. And my view is that BUET applies for accreditation, then all other public universities will come forward. CHUET, RUET, DUET, QUET, all these. And Shahjalal has already applied. They have got 3 programs accredited. So the whole, the importance of accreditation has been recognized, and hopefully with your support, the faculty members here and the students, we should be able to take BAT forward. That is the expectation. I'd like to congratulate IUB for getting 2 of the programs accredited, and after the visiting teams submit the report, it goes through a sectoral committee, 3-member committee, who review the report, and finally it comes to the board. And we have a very strict conflict of interest clause. Every member of the visiting team has to sign a statement saying that I've never been involved with this particular program in any capacity. And that makes it even more difficult. For some program, for chemical engineering, BUET used to be the only program, and they helped Shahjalal University setting up the second program. So we are looking for faculty members who have not been involved with the program at Shahjalal. We found only 1 or 2 faculty members, and then they were sent, either in designing the curriculum or Board of Studies member, paper setter, all these. For example, when BRAC University applied, or now UAP, the university I am working in, whenever the agenda item includes any topic related to the university I am involved with, I have to withdraw from the meeting. I cannot be a part of the decision-making process. There's conflict of interest. So we are trying to follow the international practices. But the problem is, Washington Accord is sort of like a closed club. When we apply, maybe there will be 20 full signatories. It has to be supported by all 100% of the full signatories. If a single member, it's a closed-door meeting, if a single full member says that no, we don't agree, then you are not admitted. So it's becoming increasingly difficult to get into this club, Washington Accord. But hopefully we'll be able to overcome that. And when that happens, I'm sure IUB graduates would find it much easier when it comes to mobility of graduates globally. So thank you for inviting me. Again, congratulations to all the people who have worked hard in achieving accreditation from IUB. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your motivational remarks. We are really honored by your presence. Now, may I please request Dr. Mustafa Habib Chaudhary, Assistant Professor of Electrical and Electronic Engineering Department, to come up on the stage for the vote of thanks.
First of all, I'd like to thank the chief guest today, Professor Jamilur Raja Chaudhary, Vice Chancellor of University of Asia Pacific and Chair of IAB for taking time out of his busy schedule to grace us with his presence. I would also like to thank quite a lot of people actually, but first I'd like to start with the Board of Trustees and one of our trustee members, Dr. Hosna Ali, who is here today, for supporting us, the IEEE program as well as the ATE program through this entire process. I'd also like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor M. Omar Rahman, our Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Milan Pagan, for both encouraging us and also holding extensive talks with the visiting IAB accreditation team, both before they met with us as well as after the entire 3-day process. So it was actually a 3-day process that the IAB accreditation team had to deal, as Dr. Razak said, was here. So I'm sure their conversations with the IAB accreditation team went a long way in convincing them to give us the accreditation. So thank you, sirs. I would also like to thank the entire faculty of the Department of Electrical and Electronic Engineering for the tremendous amount of work that they put in to get this process rolling and to see it to a favorable conclusion. In particular, I'd like to thank one of our lecturers, Ms. Neetu Saeed, who is currently pursuing her PhD in Australia, because she had put in process started rolling, and also Dr. Abdul Razak, who's the current head of our department, under whose leadership this process came to a fruitful conclusion. I'd like to thank the Dean of the School of Engineering and Computer Science, Professor, in meeting with the accreditation team and basically being in the best behavior. As far as the accreditation team is concerned, I think we had a very nice entire professionalism with which the IAB accreditation team performed their accreditation process. They were extremely professional, they were non-biased, and they basically wanted to do it, to serve the interests of the students. So they actually held personal meeting with the students in the absence of the faculty members, just to get their feedback, and I really appreciate that. And last but not the least, I would also like to thank the staff of different departments here at IAB, because the IAB accreditation team actually walked around and met different departments, like for example, the library, the registrar's office, the admissions office, etc., etc. So we'd like to extend our thanks there too. So thank you all very much for taking the time to be here today, and I hope that we can work harder because in 3 years' time our accreditation will be up for review. So we will be needing everybody's help again to get our program re-accredited again now, and hopefully we'll be full members of the Washington Accord by that time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We are almost at the end of our program. Before ending the program, I would humbly request all of the guests and the faculty members to please come up on the stage to have a photo session with our honorable guests and make this event a memorable one. Now, may I please request to the chief guest to We would like to request Professor Omar Rahman to hand over a token of gift to our chief guest.
Camera, please.
For all the guests present over here, there are refreshments just outside of this